Standing up in McKinney, this is According to Callus, a short but sweet episode on Election Day. That's right, it is the 5th of March, the year of our Lord 2024, and we're going to have a little fun today. We're going to make it a game. I am going to guess the outcome percentage on the elections. And I'm going to give you a percentage swing. And the percentage swing is going to be a way of telling you how confident I am or am not on my guess. These are swags. It's for fun. It does not reflect my desired outcome per se, but more of just what I think is going to happen based upon what I'm seeing and what I'm hearing. And, of course, the smaller the variance is, the more confident I am on my percentage. So we're going to call today's episode the Election Game. And before we begin, let me remind you, that's right, we got to do it. I need you guys to like, share, and subscribe to this program. Share it on your social media of choice. Subscribe on your podcatcher of choice. Follow me on Podbean, on the Facebook. I have a page and a group. Hey, you can come and join me over at Gab. I'm a pro there now, and I still drop in at MeWe. Now, why does this matter? Well, look, there's this stuff called algorithms. If you're not familiar with what they are, essentially they feed you different things that the media companies think you want to see or what they want you to see. And it's a self-fulfilling prophecy in many ways. So if you subscribe or if you follow, it overrides that. And it's going to give you more information that is similar. The reason why this matters is, as an alternative person, as a podcaster, as somebody that's fully independent, my show is fully dependent on you, the listeners, and your participation. I'm not asking for money. I don't make any money off of this program. This is strictly a labor of love, and I would like you to help me out. I do this because I think it matters. I do this because I actually believe it makes a difference. So that being said, here we go on with the program. All right. So I'm pulling out my handy dandy sample ballot. We're going to work our way through the sample ballot, and I'm going to give you the percentage of the highest vote getter, and then a range, and I'm going to say between 2, 4, and 6 points. So obviously if it's 2 points and I tell you they're going to get 93% of the vote, that means if they get between 91 and 95, I got it. And it also meant that I was very confident. If I tell you I think they're going to get 50% and I've got a 6-point swing, that means I'm not very confident at all. That's a 12-point swing. They could be at 44 or 56, and I still got it right, but it was much more of a swag than I care to admit. Okay, so item number 1, the presidential race. I feel like, well, I mean, obviously it's the Donald. There's a whole lot of other people on here, but at the end of the day, I'm going to say the Donald gets 93% plus or minus 4. I'm confident, but not that confident. There's just a whole lot of, let's call them spoilers that I see jumping in that. On Ted Cruz, I'm going to say Ted Cruz gets 90% plus or minus 2. Also, feel pretty confident on that. There are some spoilers, and I imagine they'll be present. Now, Congressman Self up for re-election. I'm going to go with, let's see here, 54%, but I'm going to only give myself a 6-point swing. Actually, let's change that. Let's go with a 52%, right, and a 6-point swing, which I guess would mean that if I get anywhere between a 46 and a 58, I get to count that as a win, but you can see I'm not super confident on my guess, but I am confident that he will be number 1 on the outcome there. Let's see. Christy Craddock, I'm going to put her at Let's going to go with a 50%. I think she's going to avoid the runoff, but I'm not uber confident on that. And I'm going to give her a 6-point swing as well. John Devine, I mean, that's a head-up race. So let's go with 52%, but a 4-point swing. I don't see him losing it, but he could. Let's see here. David Shank. Boy, I don't think anybody actually knows who Sharon Keller is. So I'm going to go with a 59 on this, but I'm going to leave myself a 6-point swing. There's just way too many variables on there. I'm fairly confident he wins. On the Gina Parker, I'm going to also go with a 56 and also a 6-point swing. I really don't know what I'm dealing with there. But I'm pretty confident she wins that. It'll be tight, but I think she wins it. All right, now on the school board race, and yes, I'm skipping Criminal Court of Appeals Place 8. I don't care for either candidate. I know everybody's mixed at it. Let's just go with Michelle Slaughter at a 48% with a 4-point swing. So that just means, I think she's going to win, but I'm not real confident about it. How about that? Let's see. The State Board of Education, District 12. I'm going to go with Pam Little. Gets 42% of the vote, plus or minus 4. So that means 38 to a 46, and I get it close. I get it right. All right, on State Senator, District 30, I'm going to cheat. This isn't really in my district, but I'm going to take a wild stab here. Brent Hagenbaugh is going to get 33, and I'm going to go with let's go with a 4-point swing there. I can't see him getting more than a straight up third of the. Well, let's go with. All right, Brent, you're going to get a upgrade, reluctantly so. We're going to say 35% plus or minus 4. Justin Howland's also going to get a 35, but plus or minus 6. Carissa, Frederick, and Chuck. Okay, man, I'm going to go with Frazier on this at a 46 plus or minus 6. I really got no idea how this one's going to play out, but it's clearly in his favor at the moment. Matt Shaheen, I'm going to go with a 60 plus or minus 6. I'm going to go with Jeff Leach in his race, HD 67. Unfortunately, and I hate to do this, boy, I really hate to do this. Let's go with, I'm going to be 55% plus or minus 6. So anywhere between losing at 49 and getting 61%, I would get it. But yeah, no confidence there. No confidence. Steve Kennard, I think, is going to edge out Joe Collins. This is a case of who on both accounts. Let's go with HD 70, Steve Kennard with, let's call it 49% plus or minus 2. No, you know what? Let's go with 51% plus or minus 2. How about that? He could lose. I don't know. I'm not feeling confident. I should probably make it plus or minus 4 at 51. But yeah, let's do that. Steve Kennard with 51% plus or minus 4. All right. Candy Noble. Again, another one. Just going to call it as I see it. I'm going to say 53% plus or minus 6. I think she's got a decent chance of not winning, but not a good chance, unfortunately. And again, this is not my preference. This is just kind of what I think is going to happen. Let's go here. A whole lot of races that are not even under challenge. Okay. On the judge race, 401st, I'm going to go with Kim Lassiter with 44% plus or minus 6. There's a whole lot going on there in a 3-way race, but I think she's got the edge, if you will. All right. Jim Skinner, I'm going to go with 80% of the vote plus or minus 4. No, you know what? That's too... let's go with 88% of the vote plus or minus 4. I think his is almost as sure as Trump and Cruz. All right. Let's see. Tax assessor collector. I'm going to go with Scott Grigg, 44% plus or minus 6. No, let's go 45% plus or minus 6. I think maybe he wins this outright. I just don't know. I'd say it's very slim he wins it outright. I see that going to a runoff. Daryl Hill, we're going to say 75% of the vote plus or minus 4. I can't see Jim Garrison getting more than 30% or getting more than 29%, if you will. All right. I don't think he deserves it either. But Matt Carpenter, let's going to go with 80%. No, you know what? Let's drop it. Let's say 75% of the vote, Matt Carpenter, plus or minus 4. I know he's going to win. It's just going to be a question of whether or not it's going to be a complete and utter blowout or whatever there. On the Asher Rumfeld race, I'm going to go with Rumfeld 50% plus or minus 6, meaning it's so close. I got no idea which way it's going to play out. All right, county chair, the last race that matters. The last race. I'm going to go with Shelby Williams, 45% plus or minus 6, meaning I think he maybe can win it straight out, but I think it's also very likely to go to a runoff. Not enthusiastic about that either. In any case, those are my swags, my guesses for the election. It's the election game, and I didn't write any of these down, but I will review them. In either case, everyone that I named is the person I think that's going to have the highest total votes. Plus or minus is the likelihood that I'm going to get in there, the confidence level, if you will. Obviously, 2 points, I'm feeling pretty confident. 6 points, no confidence at all. It's going to be fun. It's a game. Look, and again, I'm not saying I want specific people to win or lose. I've already covered that previously. It's just a matter of how close is my guess. What really concerns me is we have a low early voter turnout, which means today is going to drive it heavily, and I fully expect a whole lot of Democrats voting in our primary. We've got to close this primary, folks. We have got to close it soon. In either case, it should be entertaining. It should be fun, and we'll know tonight. And I'm going to wrap it up. It's we're not quite 15 minutes in, so it's a half a show for y'all. If you have not gone out and voted, now is your time. You will have just shy of 3 hours from the time this show posts and shares around. Do us all a favor. Go vote in the Republican primary, if and only if you're a Republican, and vote your conscience and vote wisely. And with that, this has been According to Callus, and I will see you on the other side.